So I know a lot of you are quite worried about having sufficient retirement savings, right? For me, I'm older than you. I'm in my mid 50s now, and maybe I can offer some tips and advice because I've been through that journey myself. Number one, which is something that all companies do, to reduce costs, to reduce expenses. There's many ways you can do that through the house that you live in, the car that you drive, the lifestyle that you live. For me personally, for most of my 40s, I was driving a 30-year-old car. In fact, I was driving a 1991 Toyota Land Cruiser. While my wife had a modern car because she was driving the kids around, I was driving a car that I had to pay no installments on, and we live in a small terrace house, and we still live there until today. Okay, so you don't need to have that fancy Starbucks. You don't need to have that international holiday. You can lead a simple life, and with that simple life, you can actually have more disposable income. Number two, increase top line. Now, beyond and above your salary, you can actually consider getting a digital side hustle and get a small side income going, which might serve you well in case you ever lose your job. Now, for example, if you're passionate about something, you can start a side hustle and talk about your passion on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, and all of those platforms will help you monetize your audience if and when you build one. Number three, think of alpha. Now, alpha is a financial term, a fancy one to describe getting returns which are better than the norm. Contrary to government data, inflation is not 4%. It's actually nearer 10%. Okay? I'll talk about that another time. But so in other words, you've got to try and beat 10% annual returns every year, otherwise your savings is going to lose money. You can't do this with EPF or FD, that's quite clear. So one safe way is to buy quality index funds, S&P 500, Nasdaq. Those are two good examples, which have given investors maybe 10 to 15% a year for the last 10 to 15% years, or 10 to 15 years. A more risky but high return ways with digital assets. Now, of course, bear in mind, 99.9% of them are going to go to zero. So stick with the blue chips. You know what I mean. I don't have to say it. Um, Never speculate, never trade, never borrow to invest. Always long term. Patient and boring. If you're in your 40s, you still have time on your side. Not financial advice.